The devil's advocates whisper in the hall, where justice wears a mask and truth begins to fall. Every thread they pull, every lie they weave, in the courtroom's dance, who's left to believe? Oh, the devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end. The devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end in sight. A photograph fades where the truth once stood. Blurred lines between the bad and the good. The scales they tilt with every silver tongue, while the broken cry for a song unsung. Black robes sway like shadows on the wall. One wrong word and the mighty fall. Who's a sinner? Who's a saint? The jury's out, but the verdict's faint. Oh, the devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end. The devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end in sight.
All right, everybody, it's another episode of Crimes After Dark, and I am just getting back into the groove after being away for a while. Let me make sure I'm getting away from backstage. Everybody can hear me. Perfect. All right. So, yeah, if there's some technical issues tonight, it's because I have been away for a while. I'll do a little bit of an explanation of where I've been, since now that I'm back, I'm in safe space. I took a boots on the ground trip to Letcher County, Kentucky, Whitesburg, Kentucky, in the Mickey Steins case, and did some speaking to locals, poking around, walked into the courthouse, walked into the sheriff's office, talked to people there, had experiences of which I will relate to the panel as well tonight, and we'll talk about that. In addition, I went to Delphi, Indiana on the anniversary of Abby and Libby German, Abby Williams and Libby German's murder in 2017. It was on their anniversary that we were there. And so I got footage as well from my drone footage, got some great footage. I'll show some of the drone footage tonight, some of the car drive footage, explain to you a few things and how it looks, how it feels in both of those places. I'm going to give you a full rundown of that. We're going to talk a little bit about the Guthrie case. Dago's got some stuff I think to share maybe with us as well. I know we talked backstage. I don't know if he wants to share it here with us at the panel, but hopefully we'll get into the Nancy Guthrie case. We'll talk even a little bit of Idaho 4. I've been doing some deep dives on the WSU lawsuit and kind of seeing what's in there that maybe I missed earlier. So I've got a long form video coming. And lastly, before I start bringing up my panel, I'm going to try to resume those fireside chats. So for the people who are in the chat and don't see all the comments that we don't address necessarily live, I do the fireside chat now, where I'll try to address all the comments that we missed or things that I have much more to say about that I didn't want to waste my panel's time talking about it now. So look for the fireside chat as I get myself back in the swing. All right, let's bring our panelists up in the order I've got them backstage. This is Robin. How you doing, Robin?
Hello, welcome back, sir.
Oh yeah, and thank you, Everything Me, for jumping into the chat. Good to see you again. Like you have been gone for a very long time. We haven't seen you for a very long time. I'm pretty excited. Are you? I'm excited to be back. I'm excited to be back. It's like
Everyone is excited for you to be back.
I don't know about that part, but I mean, I am excited.
Oh, I do. That's what everybody's been saying. So they're like, Where's DA? Where's DA? So yes, it is wonderful to have your smiling face back on with us.
It was painful being away that long. It really was. And it's funny because several times I made attempts to dial into our show while on the road, and the internet was horrendous everywhere I was at. And then the last night when I said I'm taking the night off, I tested the internet speed and it was fucking smoking. And I'm like, of course it's smoking now because I just said I was taking the night off.
Sure, that's the way shit always happens. Yeah.
Inconceivable. Yeah, it was not cool. Ange K is in the room as well. Thank you.
Hi,
We met up. We met up with Ange K on our trip, and that was so exciting. I was wanting to talk to her before I showed videos today because she's in some of those videos. I think I got her permission to show her on video. I could have gone two ways. I could have not shown her and not told you who, I could have shown her and not said who it was. Now the cat's out of the bag, so if I show her, everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, that's who Ange." Anyway, so hopefully we're good. I did make a text to her and said, "Hey, is it okay to show some of the video footage that you might appear in?" Now the cat's out of the bag, so she's going to have to scream and yell and tell me, "Don't show my video," if that's what I think she's willing though, because she was willing to come on stage at some point. All right, let's get the other panelists up. Go ahead. Did you have something else to say?
I was just going to say, I'm watching the chat.
Okay, good. Because if she screams,
she says it's okay.
Okay, I can show her. Perfect. All right. Diego, what's going on, man?
Forget about it.
Good to see you.
Welcome back. Good to see you.
I'm excited to do this again. I'm so out of sync, but you helped the denizens hold down the fort while I was out of town. So thank you very much for that. Everything sounds great from sounds great from my point. By the way, we should probably address at some point. In fact, I was going to do a long form video on the mug gag, our mug shots, and explain what happened. I do want to talk about that, but let's get the rest of the panel up first before we talk about the mug night and what happened that night. And go ahead and bring in, 1-1. What's going on, buddy?
Good evening.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
You know, I failed to bring you on last.
Tracking your phone. That's okay.
Yeah, right. You got to do your monologue, but we need to get JJ in here first before you do your monologue.
Okay.
So, anything special going on in your world, and before bring JJ up?
No, nothing crazy.
All right. Well, that's fine. Nothing crazy is probably, well, I mean, NYPD right now sounds a little crazy. I've been watching some of the stuff going on with NYPD. That seems a little crazy, but your life's okay. All right, let's bring JJ up. Hey, what's up? What's up tonight?
What's up, DA, Robin, 1-1, Dago, denizens, meatballs. How's everybody doing?
We are almost all back. We don't have Logan from Bronx Tales on with us, but we do have Dago. But Logan's going to be out tonight. I think she's going to be back tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll have you guys as well tomorrow, and then we'll have a full show. But that's part of the cool thing about having a panel is if either one of any of us have to be gone for the night, the show kind of can go on, and that's a good thing.
The show must go on.
The show must go on. All right, let's give 1-1 an opportunity to do his monologue so he can put little man to bed and the family and say goodnight. And let's get into the Crimes After Dark.
All right. Is it good to be alive in the den on a Monday night?
Yeah.
Juliana, Jackson, hope you're feeling better. My beautiful wife, love you guys. Don't turn this up. Some stories resist volume. They recoil from light. They settle deeper when you try to explain them too fast. This is one of those stories. Mickey Stein's. A name spoken once, then filed away. No outrage, no lingering echo. Just a quiet acceptance that the system did what it does and moved on. But when a case ends that cleanly, that quietly, doesn't feel finished, feels managed. A life becomes a sequence of forms. A timeline becomes a paragraph. And certainty arrives early. before anyone has time to notice what doesn't fit. Because some answers show up too fast, and some questions never get the chance to form. After the conclusion, there's a stillness, not closure, stillness. The kind that makes you wonder what was never said in the room, what didn't make it into the report, what felt safer left untouched. Then the air shifts, because this story isn't held by absence alone. It's held by authority. Judge Kevin Mullins, a title heavy enough to bend a conversation, a presence that doesn't need explanation to change how people behave. When a judge exists inside the gravity of a case, the rules feel different. Voices lower, curiosity softens, certainty hardens. Not because truth has been found, but because silence feels easier than friction. And that's where this case lives, in the space between what was officially resolved and what was never allowed to linger. Tonight isn't about proving anything. It's about slowing down long enough to notice the weight of what's missing. The pauses, the restraint, the way momentum stops right when it shouldn't. Because justice doesn't always fail loudly. Sometimes it succeeds quietly by asking fewer questions than the moment deserves. This is Devil's Advocates. We're not here to fill the silence. We're here to sit inside it, to let it stretch and let it press back. And if the quiet starts to feel uncomfortable, good. That's usually where the truth starts to breathe. And with that, live from New York, it's Monday night.
All righty.
Hey.
Well, here we are. We are in it to win it, guys. We're in it to win it. Good to be back. And thanks for the monologue, and thanks for everybody showing up. Thanks for supporting the show. I want to say a few things about my trip. I want to start out, if you don't mind, and I will try to leave space for all of us to talk about it, even though I know not all of you are following every case that I follow. But Letcher County, Kentucky is a scary fucking place. A scary place. I met with multiple people, and one thing became pretty clear to me. The local police, city police, have corrupt cops. The sheriff's department has corrupt cops. The Kentucky State Police have corrupt cops. So every form of law enforcement you could get involved in could be a corrupt cop. And so you don't want to even call for help or get pulled over in that county, because there's no law enforcement group that doesn't have somebody that's involved in some kind of really corrupt murder, cover-up, exploitation, sexual exploitation of it's ridiculous in that county. I am afraid for the people who live in that county who can't get out. There's a lot of people who can't afford to get out. It's where they've lived their whole lives. They don't want to leave, but they also don't want to die. They can't just up and leave. I'll say one more thing before I start asking for some input from you guys. One of the things that bothered me very, very much, by the way, one of the individuals in the story is Sabrina Atkins. She's got a lawsuit coming up in just a little under a month against Ben Fields, who was criminally convicted of sodomizing and raping her in the judge's chambers. That criminal conviction is done, and he was convicted, but now the civil trial is happening. And as I got talking to people, realized that I'm not entirely sure that the lawyer representing her has her best interest in mind and may actually be looking to kind of get her to take a plea deal and just settle this and go away for a payout that'll be good for her, but not good for justice and transparency, right? It'll be like, hey, take some money, gets a change your life a little bit money, but don't make this a big case. Don't turn this into a shit show. Just fucking take your, and here's the thing. I've been told that and I won't say where I heard it from. I've been told she was literally told, you will live to see the payment. You will not live to spend it. So she's already been basically told that she's probably going to win money in the lawsuit, but she won't live to spend it. So that county is a fucking mess. And I will tell you one last thing before I have you guys. I called the FBI today. I called the FBI because I realized this is going to trial and they're not prepared, in my opinion. They're going to get railroaded because she's indigent. She doesn't have a lot of money. She's going to get railroaded into a plea deal. And I called the FBI, and the response from the FBI was basically, who are you? And when I said I was a YouTube true crime guy, they said, thank you. We'll call you back if we want to talk to you. And they just basically shut it down. So I don't know. They might call. I mean, literally the guy said, look, I'm just an intake guy. I'm not the one responsible. If a field agent wants to talk to you, he'll call you back. Thanks for the call. And he shut it down. But it wasn't a discussion. It was just we will call you if we're interested in the case. And I told him, I said, I'm terrified for these ladies. There's rumors about murders left and right in this county. And it's more than just shady. Like there's teeth to this. And he didn't want to hear the details because he was just an intake guy. He said, look, if an agent wants to talk to you, he'll call you. Have a nice day. So we don't know. We'll see what happens. What do you guys think?
Part of the problem with that, Lee, from my understanding, this was like the first maybe 2 months of this case when it first happened. There was things being put out that, well, no, for the first 2 months. When Taya first came out and did her story with Brian Enton, she stated, Brian even asked her about higher ups being involved in this, that she made a statement that FBI agents are even involved in the corruption in this specific area. So if it goes high enough, that you don't have an answer, where do you reach to? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and somebody here, the Chevy Metal knows Appalachia, which is the area where Letcher County is at. You know,
yeah,
it's a dangerous place. That whole place is very, very dangerous. So
unfortunately, it just seems like if you don't know the right people, the right person to help you. I mean, I'm not gonna go into my personal details. I have my own situation. Nothing bad. I'm I take my oath seriously. I'm not in any danger. I'm not corrupt or anything like that.
Right.
But I have my own personal situation going on, and if it wasn't for the fact that I had a family member that had a connection to someone high up, even me, I have 20 plus years experience in law enforcement, and even I was going to get, and it's nowhere near in the same level of what's going on, and with these women. You have to know the right people, or unfortunately, like it seems like you get railroaded. No one,
Yeah, and like in this Loving It Up said, go there in person. I mean, I don't know if they're talking to me. I was there in person. I walked into the courthouse. I walked into the sheriff's department. By the way, real quick on the FBI thing, to report to the local field agent, it is actually Louisville, Kentucky is the local field agent for the area. Everything in Kentucky rolls up through Louisville. I called Louisville's office. However, the menu system directed me to the national FBI thing. So I actually didn't talk to anybody in Louisville. And it was funny because I was kind of like, you guys were saying, like, how far up does the corruption go? Is Louisville FBI involved in it? So I was kind of glad that I went to the national FBI number, but literally it was like, they're going to talk to somebody in Louisville and decide whether or not they're interested in talking to me, and they'll call me back. So if it does go up that high, then you're probably never going to get that call from Louisville, Kentucky. So, and I'll tell you another story. I think I told you this the other day, but it was. I need to work on my nerves because I'm not used to being a confident person. And by the way, it's a little intimidating when you're going into a sheriff's office like I did. I walked into the sheriff's office, and people in the county are telling you the sheriff's office are killing people and covering it up, right? And so you're going to walk in there and question them about things that they've ruled not a homicide, to say, hey, I'm not sure that it really was not a homicide, and what are you going to do? Hey, I think you could have killed somebody. Can you guys tell me what your records are? Like that conversation's awkward to have, right? So I walked into the office and I had 3 names. And one of the guys that I was asking about a suspicious murder was from about 15, 20 years ago, roughly. So I asked him, and the guy literally just said, well, I wasn't working here then. And there was no effort. He was not going to make any effort to look into the computer files or whatever. It was just like, well, I wasn't working here then. I'm like, so that's your answer to, did you guys have any involvement with this case? Like, I literally just wanted to say, and I told him, I said, look, I'm not asking to see your case files. All I want to know is it a closed investigation, and do you have records, and what kind of records do you have, so I can put public records requests? And he was not interested in really talking to me about anything. He was like, well, that's not, one case I asked about, he said, sorry, that's Kentucky. Even though the locals told me the sheriff's department was involved in that case and we're on the scene at the case, he passed it off to, that's a Kentucky case, not us. So I don't know that that's true, because I was told by locals that the sheriff's department was there. But it's a Kentucky case. So he said, go to Kentucky for that one. And then the other one was, sorry, I didn't work here back then. So have a nice
one
day.
of them, didn't you tell us out here, one of them about dogs or something?
Yes. Yeah. So and I got more details about that.
That blows my mind, Lee. That blows my mind.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you a little bit about that story. Yeah. I want to tell you a little bit about that story. So I heard from people in the area that a woman, and I was right there where it happened. A woman in the local area that I was right where it kind of happened, was silenced by, I was told, they had taken her up into the woods, slit her biceps to make her bleed, and fed her to dogs that had been starved for a couple weeks. So the dogs were just ravenously hungry, and they fed her to the dogs up in that thing. The local police reported it as she was attacked by wild animals, even though there were somebody's domestic dogs that were starved and fed to. The interesting thing about that is when I went into the sheriff's department, I said, I'm looking into a death in the county, and I gave them the name. And he said, well, how did she die? And I said, I think she was eaten by dogs. Now, keep in mind, wild animals or eaten by dogs. He says, oh, yeah, that wasn't us. That was Kentucky. Like, he didn't argue that the woman was eaten by dogs. He just, like, it could have been, well, yeah, why didn't you say wild animals? But I said, oh, I think she was eaten by dogs. Oh, yeah, that wasn't us. That was Kentucky. Okay. Like, are you confirming that she was eaten by dogs? Now I hear more of the story. And this is rumors. I was told she was actually run over on purpose by a car, hit by a car, and then drug up into the mountains and finished off by the dogs to cover up the fact that they ran her over with the car. So it was kind of like a way to try to conceal that they had tried to run her over. In that county, several people who are talking about the case have been run off the road multiple times, somebody trying to kill them by running them off the road. That, I'm telling you, man, that county's a fucking mess.
So the woman that was eaten by dogs, was she like a whistleblower or something?
I think she had snitched about something, and that's what started it. That's the part I was a little, and here, there's so many people. There's so many people.
Like made for TV movies, Lee. You know what I mean? It's insane, but it's real, you guys. That's what I'm saying.
Like, yeah.
DA, I think you should call Pam Bondi. She could probably help you out.
Oh, I'm sure she'll be all over it. I'm sure.
Probably.
No, you're funny.
I'm sure she'll be all over. And I'll tell you, I was a little terrified being up there, because the whole county felt creepy. And let me tell you some other stories. These are, again, I want to make it clear, I'm not making defamation claims. I'm talking about stories that I heard from people. So I'm passing on things that I've heard about the county. The judge allegedly would have lunch across the street from the courthouse. By the way, my wife and I walked into the courthouse. We saw the place where I believe that Kevin Mullins was shot and killed. It's a tiny courthouse. Walked around that place. The coroner's office is right attached to the courthouse. The sheriff's office is right behind the courthouse. Everything touches each other, including the restaurant, where apparently Mickey Steins and Kevin Mullins, the judge, so the sheriff and the judge had lunch that day before he shot and killed him in the judge's chambers. They had lunch across the street. I've been told rumors by multiple people about that particular bar, that the attorney who has an office attached to the courthouse, and I know his name, but I'm not going to necessarily say it now. The attorney and the judge and the sheriff would have lunch and roofie girls at the bar. And then they would take the drugged up girls across the street to the attorney's office where he has a massage table, and they would rape and or molest this unwilling person that had been roofied up at that office. And that was shit that just happened right there next to the courthouse on a regular basis. And the chief of police may have known about it and been involved in it as well. And everybody just fucking turns a blind eye to the whole thing. I don't know if those stories are true, but I've been told crazy, crazy stories. And I've talked I've talked to people probably that I shouldn't talk to, and I'm terrified for them, and I'm trying to do what I can to help out with that county. But literally, they're going to trial. Like again, what terrifies me is they're going to trial in a matter of weeks, and I don't know that they're properly represented. So I don't know what to do with that. I mean, all I can say is look, from what I understand, and I don't know how this works, I'm not a lawyer, but from what I understand, if there's a lawyer out there willing to take the case pro bono and has the chops, they could ask for a continuance and step in and say, look, I don't think these people are getting properly represented. I want a little bit more time, and I'm going to step in and I'm going to do this on my own. So if there's somebody out there who knows somebody that's of that caliber and can do that, that's about the only Hail Mary I think that they've got. Go ahead.
Real quick question here. Would they allow them to be properly represented? Represented, sorry.
Well, that's the question. I mean, I don't know how it works. She has an attorney right now that's, taking it on as a continuance from the criminal trial. So I don't know if because she's the plaintiff, right? So if she says, hey, I want to change my legal counsel, I would think that she has the ability to do that. Legendary CEO, I don't know what if you have the credentials to do that, but if you have the credentials, I will give you all the information you need to know to get a hold of Sabrina Atkins and see if you can do something like that. Because that's what I'm afraid that I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't know about her attorney, but what I have heard made me get icky feelings about how he was already kind of pressing her, hey, you should take a deal, you should settle this kind of thing. And I'm like, fuck, like that sounds like somebody who wants this to just go away. Let's not go to trial. And again, they've scheduled the trial for only 4 days. It's a massive trial. It's a massive thing. And it's maximum of 4 days. They're expecting a plea deal in my opinion.
Well, I think, I was going to say, because they know they were probably told this is what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, when you're going to do it, and end the story, or this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
TA, did you ever see the movie U-Turn?
No, I don't think I did.
If anybody's seen the movie U-Turn.
Isn't there like multiple sequels with that movie, I think?
No, you're thinking of Wrong Turn.
Yeah,
no.
U-Turn was Sean Penn. Joaquin Phoenix was in it when he was young. Claire Danes. Jennifer Lopez, and I think Billy Bob Thornton's in it. It's an all-star cast. It's about this little desert town in the middle of nowhere and out in the desert. What you're describing reminds me of that movie. I highly recommend anybody to watch that movie if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, there's a bunch of movies like that. I think they even there's one that's kind of like a comedy in a sense. Isn't it called like Nothing to Lose or something like that?
Nothing to Lose with Dan Aykroyd and all
Dan
that.
Aykroyd plays like a crazy, like he's like the judge and
judge with the dick nose.
Yep.
Well, this movie you would appreciate
Daughter 22.
Yeah, thank you very much for the gift. Yeah, and yeah, this town is. I think this town is indicative of a lot of stuff. I think there's a lot of corrupt little small counties and stuff like that I wouldn't be surprised this kind of happens a lot of different places.
It probably does, truly.
It
happens everywhere. Happens everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
I can't tell you how many new chiefs and stuff I've had in NYPD. It's insane.
Well,
and by the way,
sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
All I was going to say was I think that happens so much within these smaller towns because nobody looks in on them. They run themselves, and nobody looks in on them. Nobody says anything, so they do what they want to do, how they want to, and when they want to.
But there you go. I think it's happening in the bigger town. I'm sure. You don't get a bigger. We have the largest police force in the entire country. Our force is even bigger than some countries' entire military. Yeah. And if you guys saw the level of corruption that, I've told Lee and Robin some of the stuff. It's like off the charts. And the problem is, it's like, so, we have an internal affairs bureau, IAB that we call, but who do they report to? They report to the
Department of Justice.
Report to the chief. They report to the chief. And if the chiefs, we have a chief of the department, and then we have other chiefs that fall under him. But if the chief the head chief of the department is complicit in some of this corruption and some of this stuff going on. And you're going to say, well, what about the police commissioner? Okay, but you have to remember the police commissioner is appointed and chosen by the mayor. So if there's all kinds of like shady contracts and all kinds of nonsense going on.
They're all in each other's pocket.
Right. So the mayor,
so it all goes back to a morality issue.
Right.
Exactly.
Oh, there's nothing to look here, nothing to see here.
Right.
And I will tell you this. I think in Letcher County, I think people have gone to the FBI and Homeland Security and other places. And here's what's interesting about that. I've been told the FBI has talked to somebody in the area, but they were only interested in certain parts of the case. And when they couldn't get that, they were completely out. They just dropped it as they're only interested in elected officials, that lead up to government officials and stuff like that. So they're really not concerned about all the murders and corruption. And by the way, I don't want to get huge into the details, but I see how the system seems to work. They get people who are poor and down and they're out when they're young to get into drugs. They groom young girls. They get them into drugs. Then they get you to get a criminal history, and then they churn you through the system, and they keep you in for life. And they keep basically trapping you in a system. They churn over young kids, and it's a money making sexualized venture. One of the victims told me, literally, she was told as she was being passed around to adult men when she was underage, you're sitting on a fucking gold mine. You can make a ton of money if you just do the right thing and let yourself be passed around to these guys that, it's just, that county is scary.
I think that DHS could get involved because that's kind of their forte. I mean, in essence, based on, again, the interview that Taya, I think her name is, gave to Brian, it's a trafficking ring, and that's what DHS does. So,
that's just it. The people, the people who take people's children in that county for the government are involved in are allegedly involved in the corruption. Like there's agencies that'll come in and take children from their families and then churn them through that system.
Well, just think about it's a microcosm of the Epstein files. What happens? You have people that are in a little microcosm. You have people that are higher up the ladder, right? Yeah. There may be people above them that use that type of activity to have things on people, right? And so, you want people to do what you want them to do. If you have dirt on them like that, and a bunch of people are in on it, you use that. And what we're finding out now is that's been going on forever.
Right. It makes you wonder, JJ, if some of them people, the higher ups in that Letcher County, may be on that Epstein list as well at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, did you guys ever see the movie? It's somewhat of a recent movie, The Sound of Freedom. You guys know what went on with that? Yeah. I mean, look at the movie.
I heard about it.
The movie was it was sad. I'd say like it was well done. It's a sad movie. It's a good movie. It was filmed in 2018, and it should have been out in 2018. But 21 Century Fox and Disney, they held it. They wouldn't let it get released. This guy they had to fight. And finally, in 2023. And what happens in this movie? It's all about human trafficking and all kinds of crazy shit. It was
shut down many ways.
Sad, really sad.
Yep.
It's very sad. So, I'm doing what I can to help individuals in that county, but I'm in over my head because, I'm kind of new to this and learning how to do it. I ended up calling our attorney friends that we have on the show, that we've had on the show before, to get advice. And that was one of my attorney friends was the one that said, you should probably call the local FBI field office and ask them to look into it, which again, I'm not 100% sure they're completely ignoring it. Literally, the guy just said, look, I'm an intake guy. I've taken your information. If somebody wants to talk to you, they'll call you back. Thank you. Bye. And hung up before I could say a word. So it sounded like that's just his job. Like, I'm not going to get into the discussion with you. I've taken the basic information. I got your contact. If they want to contact you, they will. Whether or not I gave them enough for them to be interested, I don't know.
I'm willing to call the FBI. Maybe if enough of us call the FBI about it, because that's what
Yeah.
it takes. It takes that kind of pressure. I'm telling you, people, 4%. 4% is what it takes when you take action. Look at the freaking Super Bowl. What happened with between Amazon and Flock? Now Amazon and Whole Foods. Whole Foods. I didn't know they have a palm reading machine at Whole Foods. Amazon has now gotten rid of that from Whole Foods. They are not doing that anymore through Amazon One. So that's what I'm telling. I'll call them. I'll call them every damn day if that's what it takes. I'll call them about Letcher County, Kentucky. When I get a fire under me, look out, man, because and this has me fired up. So
look, I'm not.
And if somebody wants to start a campaign, I'll help you.
I'm not saying that I think this would be really fruitful, but like I had mentioned, Thomas Massey's got his hands full, but he's responsive. That's the one thing about him. He's responsive. He's a congressman in Kentucky, and he's high profile. If you can get in touch with his people, DA, or anybody here,
I'll call them.
it can't hurt to send them a really detailed letter.
Sure.
And you never know, because some people are more responsive than others.
Right.
And I'll tell you this, I have to be careful what I do. I'm literally getting text messages right now from the victims in Letcher County, and they are ready to explode shit tomorrow. They want to go live and do a YouTube live, and they're going to start naming some names. Sabrina Atkins, again, her lawsuit is coming up. I spoke to Sabrina today, and Sabrina wants to talk to me as well. But the girls are getting impatient, and they're like, we're just going to fucking start blabbing it all over the place because nobody's listening, kind of thing. And so, yeah, I think. Robin, I think you're willing to call the FBI and get on that a little bit. Maybe you can not tell them immediately you're a YouTuber. Maybe they shut me down because I said YouTube, and they're like, fuck that guy's a YouTuber. Like, they never even gave me a chance to give them something that was worth. But I did. I felt like I got his attention when I said, listen, this is the case of the sheriff who shot the judge in the judge's chambers. And he was like, oh. Like that at least caught his attention, because again, the judge is an elected official, right? So, and the sheriff's an elected official. So that at least rises to the level of, well, maybe the FBI might be interested when it's at the level of an elected official that's getting shot inside a courthouse. But again, it was more like, we'll call you if we want to talk to you. Thank you. Have a nice day. So,
well, I mean, doing that, making calls and this and talking about this and getting this out, I think the more people that see this, the more people that can spread the word about this. Like, I think that's what we need to do, honestly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And look, I'll tell you another thing. I'm an outsider. I don't know the area as well as these girls, so it's tough for me, because I had one of the girls tell me, hey, listen to you tell me if this passes your sniff test. So these girls are trying to come forward and get attention on the case, and the jailer who was responsible of jailing some of these girls who were under house arrest and in a prison system where Ben Fields was molesting women and whatever. The jailer has contacted one of the girls and said, can I meet you at a restaurant? I want to talk to you before this thing goes to trial. And I'm like, fucking don't go to that fucking, no. You don't go meet somebody. Like, you guys are in super danger. You should not be fucking going. Like, I'm imploring them. Like, yes, you know people more than I do, and I don't know the area, but I'm telling you, you probably don't want to go do one of those, hey, let's talk before you start talking to people kind of thing.
We have a gift here from Chevy Metal. Says, remember the movie Walking Tall? Buford Pusser's wife was killed in 1967, and they recently exhumed her body. Buford is the #1 suspect now. He blamed it on the Dixie Mafia. Yeah, I remember seeing something about that case recently.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was based off of true events. So yeah. That's all I mean, I feel like doing what, like Robin, what you said, and all of us spreading the word on this 100%. I've been covering this case since this first started. I didn't know all the details until Taya did her interview, and I'm like, holy shit. And now that Lee's been there, boots on the ground, face to face with these people, we can't just sit here and let this keep going without talking about it, folks. These are people. They're like us. We're all people. We have to protect each other. So
right. Here's the hard part, Dago. I know you and I are much alike. Everybody in the panel is the same way. But like, here's the thing.
Yes.
If we give the wrong advice, and somebody gets killed, I'm gonna have a hard time living with myself.
I agree
Like,
with
I don't
you.
want to. I don't want to tell somebody to do something and it gets them killed, and I'm like, fuck. Like, you know,
No.
I don't want to be that. So on the one hand, I want to help them and help them immediately, and I want to give them the best advice I can. But if somebody gets killed because of some advice I gave them, I'm gonna fucking have a hard time living with that. Like, I don't even know how to deal with that. So,
like I said,
Right.
I'm not trying to tell them. I'm not going to try to tell them what I think they should do, but I definitely want to put this word out, and I definitely want the world to know what
Right.
the hell's going on here, because like I said, the more people that hear that, maybe the right person's going to hear this and tell
Yep.
or tell the right person about this, and the right person will be the one that can say, get the wheels moving on something. Okay. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, the first thing, I mean, they need a safe place to get to. I mean, if they, I know they want to come forward, but if they're going to start dropping names and stuff, they're putting themselves there's a huge problem with that.
Of course. Yes.
They need a safe, they need a safe place.
And that's kind of their logic right now is I want to talk to everybody, and I want you guys talking about it all the time, because if we start ending up dying, at least people will be like, huh, isn't that a coincidence? We were just talking about them and now they're dead too. Like, and that doesn't fix them from being killed. But as some of these girls are saying, I got nothing left to lose anymore. If they fucking kill me, they fucking kill. I got nothing. They've taken everything from me anyways. They've taken my kids. They've taken my life. They've made me terrified. I got nothing left to fucking live. So, or to live for. So at this point, I don't fucking care. But it's still like, good Lord, like, how do you get out of that mess?
Right. And I agree with Jody. That's what I want to do, is I want to tell their story to the world repeatedly, again and again and again. Yep. And I want as many people to hear that story and tell that to other people, tell it to other people.
Right.
Until enough people know about this, that if things like that do start happening, everybody's going to turn their head and go, that shouldn't have happened, and here's why it did. So,
and real quick, the defense rest is in the house. Defense Rest was the Australian YouTuber that put me in touch with some of the locals and started this ball rolling.
Right.
If you want to come on, Jody, and talk about, because Jody has been telling me some things that are happening right now, and the girls are chomping at the bit to get their story told. I would be totally willing, Jody, to have you come on real quick and tell us what the girls want. Because like you said, she's saying, you don't need to tell the girls anything, just tell their story. And there's a part of me that's still holding back on telling their story, because I don't know.
Right.
I don't want to be the person that gets somebody killed.
Reaction.
And
exactly.
So, Jody, if you want to come up, let's get that invite. Did you send it? Yeah, Robin put the link out there. So if you want to grab it, come on up. Even if it's just brief, maybe say a few words. Let us know how you feel, how the girls are feeling.
That's a good point,
you'll give you a moment here.
I mean, I would say, as soon as possible, we should try to draft some kind of letter or something to what JJ said. Yep. I mean, I don't know how much higher you can get than a senator. I mean, it's pretty high up there.
Department of Justice, maybe.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's someone, if
the White House,
if he starts
clout.
Right. If he starts poking, like they're not gonna be able to, shoo the senator away if he's.
Of course not. No.
Now, here's the thing that's funny, and I'm not worried about this because I'll take my risk. But here's the thing that's funny: when we were on that trip, and we're waiting for Jody to see if she'll come up. She did say send me the link, so I think she says she needs 2 minutes, so she'll be up here to join us. Here's what's funny: so we're trying to do the right thing. I was just listening to an audiobook on their trip when my wife and I were out there on the boots on the ground, and we were listening to more of the book Framed. And some woman who saw something, people leaving a murder scene, and saw them and reporting to the police, when they had no other leads, they just framed it on her because she was the closest person that was there, and they know she was there. So no good deed goes unturned. She literally saw it and reported to do the right thing, and they went, well, fuck it, we don't have any other suspects, so we'll just make it her. She was there, and and they went after her. And I'm like, you want to do the right thing, but what you don't want to do is become the lead suspect because you did the right thing. And like, well, how do you know so much about this? Maybe we should look into you. Like, fuck off.
No, that's a good point. I get what you're saying. Real quick, if I can, Michelle F. I think this is in my chat. It looks like it is. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Very generous and gracious, and God bless. We appreciate you very much. Thank you. Now, that's a good point, Lee. It is. It makes perfect sense too.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I guess I'm willing to take that risk that, to help out if I get labeled something, but by the same token, like, it's happened before where you try to do the right thing and help somebody, and then you're like, well, why do you know so much about this? Maybe we should look into you, and you just want to be like, I'm going to wring somebody's neck if I become a suspect.
Well, the difference, Lee, is that you're doing this publicly right now.
There's
It's not like you have not been investigating this for, a while now. So
Right.
that's the difference. You
That's
don't
a good
live
point.
in Kentucky. You're not. So that's the difference. And that is also your protection. And you have all these witnesses out here on YouTube who can vouch for that. So I really wouldn't worry about that. The main thing is, just getting their story out, getting it in
Yeah.
the public eye to the point where it can't be ignored anymore.
Yes.
That's what we need to do.
Yeah. Well, and I have some stuff to talk about. Rand Paul would be an interesting person if you can get it. Is he in Kentucky? Is Rand Paul to Kentucky, or is he not? I can't remember where he's
Yes.
from.
I think he is.
He's a senator.
Senator from Kentucky.
Massey is a congressman, and the only reason I mentioned Massey a few times is he seems to be pretty responsive, if at all possible. So if a bunch of people wrote his office or called his office about this same issue, there's I would say a decent chance that you would get some response.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what do we have to lose?
Right.
I mean,
right. If we
it's
can make
only
some
gonna
phone
cost
calls, we
making
should
some phone calls and writing some letters.
Can make some phone calls.
And time is of the essence because time is of the essence because that trial is coming up very quick for Sabrina Atkins. And to be fair, it's not necessarily the end of the world if she takes a crappy deal, because there's still a criminal investigation that I think needs to go further. But by the same token, if you, I don't even want to say I don't know her attorney. I don't know if her attorney is a good or a bad attorney. So I don't want to besmirch her current attorney. Maybe their attorney is amazing. I don't know. But I feel like it feels like they're not prepared to deal with something as big as it is. And it feels like it's going to get brushed under the table and they just want it to go away. And there's going to be a simple plea deal and they just want it to all disappear. And that county is going to stay in a mess for a long, long time.
I think we also need to run some names past the victims if we're going to be talking to the victims, and run some names past them to see what names are okay to go through with. There could be some names involved in higher ups that they're not, hey, what about this person? And they're like, no, you know what I mean? So I think that's kind of important too, because that could end up being detrimental in that situation.
And also,
go ahead.
If you regarding the safety of potential whistleblowers, if that is put out to somebody, I'm just using Massey as an example, but I think a bunch of people would agree with me, and his office becomes aware of it, that these whistleblowers want to come forward but they don't feel safe. At the very least, if we can get his attention, he might have people that he can sort of designate to handle it. If he can't do it himself, he could basically get some people on board, and that way you've gotten it out there that these people want to come forward but they're afraid, and that way they're aware of it at a higher level of some of the things that are going on, and that you kind of potentially create a safeguard for the people that want to come forward.
I'm looking for a comment. Somebody said, can you make sure DA sees this comment? Is this it? I feel bad for the ladies who suffered that. It's hard and can be traumatic and could cause dissociative amnesia. And that's and PTSD and other mental health issues. And these are two of what I have. Yeah, absolutely. This is causing a lot of trauma for these people. And that's the problem. That's the very problem with this whole thing is these people have a lot of trauma. And when you get them talking, they want to, here's the thing, I want to be gentle how they say that. These people have a lot of trauma, lifelong trauma. And so when they get somebody who's listening, they want to dump 30, 40 years of lifelong trauma on you at one time. And it's hard to kind of like, hey, look, I'm trying to connect the dot to the local thing happening right now. They're like, but you have to understand the whole history. And I'm trying to get up to speed on decades, maybe more, of corruption, right? And they want to just like, spit it all out and be like, but and this person and this person and this person and this person, and like, I get it, like, but getting it all down. And by the way, Jody from the Defense Rest has done an amazing job of organizing and getting stories. She's got a plethora of links, and I just haven't had the time, but I'm making the time now because time is of the essence. So I'm kind of shifting gears a little bit to put a lot more of my focus on this case immediately because of the time issue of Sabrina Atkins going to trial against Ben Fields in that civil case. So we're trying to up the ante and kind of get on that.
Yeah.
All right. So I don't know what's happening with Jody. We've given her the link a bunch of times.
I emailed her the link.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she
said in the chat she can't come on with that link without a delay.
Interesting.
Yeah, I emailed it to her. Okay, I'll email it again, Jody. Hang on.
And when we get done talking to Jody, which might take a while, obviously, because we have a special guest to talk about it, and it's a high important thing. I do want to share some footage from Delphi and talk about the Delphi situation. And we'll try to, so we might go a little long tonight, depending on how you guys have for tolerance. But I realize we're spending a lot of time on Letcher County, which it needs.
Yeah.
And but I've got some footage I want to show, and I want to talk about some of the other things as well. So let's wait here. It looks like Jody's working on getting connected.
Yep, I just I emailed that to her again, so she should have it anytime
I saw.
now.
So someone asked a question earlier in the chat. Why is there an issue of law enforcement and FBI and different units working together? The answer I could tell you with that is kind of like ego. Like everyone wants to be the one that, that has the ball, especially if it's like a national wide case. They want to say we were in control,
Same thing in the Nancy Guthrie case. Absolutely.
Yeah, they sometimes like there should be a time where you take a step back and if someone else has a better expertise or a better idea, but people let their ego in the way. That's the problem.
A lot of times the law enforcement agencies are trying to be the one who breaks the case and gets credit for it. So they fight for keeping things to themselves so they can be the one to break the case and get credit. All right, Jody's on. Jody, how are you doing? You there?
We made it.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome.
Sorry for the kerfuffle.
So tell me what you can tell me about who wants to come forward and what they're going to talk about now.
So I woke up this morning to my phone ringing on Messenger with Tyre. Now, I don't know if you know, but there was a smear campaign posed against Tyre last week in the Mountain Eagle.
Yes.
With horrible articles and stuff. And that apparently has stirred up a big community uprising because the woman that they used as their the person that told the story was linked back to Tyre's very, very first sexual abuser when she was 12. And the community remembers that, and they've rallied behind her. So there's a big uproar now.
Good.
It's brought back memories and it's brought everything to the forefront. So we have the fourth defendant that was actually going to be on Sabrina's. She was actually Ben Fields' first victim who is coming to tell her story. She actually has a warrant out for her arrest at the moment, for a bench warrant for absolute bullshit rehab, like a voluntary rehab thing that she was doing. Anyway, what else?
So they're trying to get her back inside.
Yeah, and it's funny because I talked to her, and here's the thing: like I'm talking to her, and I'm like, I can't tell you to not turn yourself in or to hide from law enforcement. I can't do that, right? Because that's bordering on aiding and abetting, right? So I'm like, I'm talking to her, and I'm like, I can't tell you what not to do, but it seems like a really bad idea to go into that county.
What if she would have turned herself into a different county in a different area and say, hey,
Tyre spoke to her parole officer this morning, and she's on board as well. Apparently, she thinks that the danger is too great at the moment, and she's trying to.
Sorry.
No, she's trying to change. She's looking into what she can do to remove that bench warrant or to try and get her to do a rehab in a different county where she's not risking her parole or not, you know, and revert that warrant. But the warrant is there to shut her up.
There's a
shut her up.
Without naming names right now, there's a gentleman I became aware of that's incarcerated right now, and he has information that he wants to come forward on, but he's terrified to come forward with it while he's incarcerated because they're going to kill him if he comes forward with it. So he wants to tell things. There's people are ready to talk, but they need to make sure that they're safe, and being incarcerated is not the place that you're safe. And look, here's the other thing about the smear campaign. Their attitude all over the place, and by they, I mean like people in law enforcement and the prosecution are, look, these are just a bunch of whores trying to make money. They're sluts, they're whores. They're out there just trying to make a buck and say anything they can. They're just degrading the people that they victimized to make it look like they're just a bunch of sluts trying to make a dime and say anything. Exactly.
But it's backed by the people that are trying to discredit everyone in the lead up to Sabrina's trial. That's what's happening.
Right. I have somebody in my community. She's been here a long time. She lives on the other side of the mountain from Whitesburg, and said that it is. And she said this before when I first started covering Letcher County. It's as bad, if not worse. Oh, and she just made a statement when I made the statement about different counties. She goes, they would probably just transfer her.
Back.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the scary part with this shit, because there's no. It's hard to get outside of the circle to get any help, you know.
And see, Dago, I mean, we got to talk to Jody, but Dago, that's my problem. Like, if you or I say, oh, we think it sounds good, hey, go to a different county and turn yourself in, and then they just transfer her to the same county. We're like, fuck, we just got her killed, like, because we told her to go turn herself in. And
they cannot trust anybody. And
that's why there needs to be somebody. That's what I was mentioning earlier. Like, we have to find a way to be able to get somebody involved in this that is a safe haven for them to be able to go to, that they can trust, that nobody can reach above them. You know what I'm saying?
They have a couple of people they've been reaching out to. They have a really, really good rapport with what's her name? Alison from News Nation, I think it is. Alison.
Anybody you think would be helpful, Jody, will you please email their information to me? And we could start a pressure campaign. Because that's what it's going to take. It's going to take applying pressure.
Yeah. They want to organise rallies for Sabrina's court case and all sorts of stuff. But I don't know.
They need protection now before this other shit hits the fan. That's the problem.
They do, 100%.
I would think that the protection is at the foremost. That's. I understand they want to get the story out, and like, you know, they have nothing left to lose at this point, but they gotta be protected.
I almost wonder if there'd be an attorney that maybe we could reach out to, a high profile attorney that might
to be out of state. Yeah,
that's what I mean. Out of state, somebody that could cover this out from out of state, that has that qualification, that would look into this pro bono, that would see what this truly is, and step in and say, hey, you know, I want to help this situation.
Let's get Bruce Rivers on board.
Alan Jackson, you know, somebody.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Like that.
I'd love to.
Would, but
I know he's occupied probably. I'd love it if John Ray was able to do it.
I know.
Because John Ray is.
He's high profile.
He's a pit bull. I mean, look what he doesn't give up. Look what he did with the Long Island serial killer case.
I'll tell you this one. I called John Ray today about this case. Yeah. So I've got a phone call into him, but I mean, I don't expect him to take the case up. I know, he's got enough pro bono work going on that he doesn't need another pro bono case. But
anyone.
That's the main thing, I think, you guys, at this point with this, is we have to get them protected first. Yes. And trustworthy protection, okay?
Yeah. And that's why I sought you guys out. I don't have a big enough voice to get that attention, to get them protected. And they need representation, legal representation, big time.
Well, and here's the thing that people don't entirely understand is some of these victims who want to come forward live in the county. They have they have animals, they have farms, they have family.
Right.
They can't just go into hiding or go like it's not that easy. It's not as simple as, well, they should just go someplace. Like they can't uproot their entire life. So it becomes a risk. Like, I'm just gonna have to live my life and hope that for the best.
Well, that's what Brandy's been doing for 20 years, is providing safe houses for these women. But I don't think that she's she's too exposed now.
And the punishment too. I'm sorry, Greg, I don't want to cut you off, but the punishment level with this is a joke too, because if I'm correct, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, please. Ben Fields, when he was convicted and did what he did, it was a joke. Like there was no true punishment behind this anyway.
No.
A cushy 6 months with a couch and a visitation from his wife on a regular basis,
and full access to anything.
Yeah, normal sentencing for that type of,
So they're not coming down with a hammer on as far as consequences go.
No, because the judges are all part of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Bingo.
They've got no one to trust. Law enforcement is corrupt. The CPS is corrupt. The whole courthouse is corrupt. There's only one person they trust in there, and that's I think it's Michael Watts or Matt Watts. He's the only one. That's it.
Robin, do you got that name that you can write down? Savannah Medics, so we can look. Okay.
Yep. I'm looking it up
and
right
by
now.
the way, a common theme, surprisingly, a common theme that I hear from locals is Mickey Stein's, while not necessarily squeaky clean, seems to be a person that people trusted. He was one of the quote unquote good guys. Like, he actually, it sounds like he made an attempt to go to the Kentucky State Police to report on some of this, and Kentucky State Police turned it down. And then he went to the Attorney General. So it looks like Mickey was trying to start, and in fact, some of the locals trusted Mickey to do something about it. And he would tell them, my hands are tied on some of this stuff. I can't. I want to help you, but my hands are tied. So
he was never involved in any of the sexual stuff. I do believe that he knew all about it for the entire time, and I think his interest was purely financial, but he was complacent.
But he was also threatened.
Like I said, he's not. I don't think he was squeaky clean, but he at least wasn't the same kind of predator as some of these other people were. Right.
Yeah.
Well, if you watched Mickey's reaction when he was sitting right after the crime with Kevin happened, he's sitting there waiting.
That was fear.
Everybody that it was in front of him, he swore to God they were going to kill him. Every single one.
And that was real.
And the media blew that off as paranoia on his part. Look at this crazy paranoid guy.
Right.
He thinks people are trying to kill him. Like, why do you think that he thinks people are trying to kill him? Could it be that maybe they were going to kill him?
He's psychoval. Hello.
Right.
It's like it's a massive cover up. Anyway, they can. But the punishment that you were saying, Dago, it doesn't just, so if they can't get the person that's accusing them, they go for their family. So they've targeted Ty's children, Brandy's children, everyone's children. They're at risk now, and that's what they're worried about.
And Taya even said in her interview that she did with Brian Enton that there were boyfriends and husbands and children that were put in jail, and that were, things happened to them if they did not succumb to the situation. So
she's lost 2 ex-husbands and her best friend, all under suspicious circumstances.
See what I mean? Like, no, this is what's scary about this situation. And it's like almost like you're reaching out to something, and it's this far from you, and you can't find a way, because the main thing, I'm going to say it again and again and again, is absolute protection for them before any of this goes down.
The thing is, what I've learned over this too is that the attitude of what, this person's been good to me, but their definition of what's good to them is completely distorted.
Very distorted.
Nothing we would accept as a norm in our society. Like, it's ridiculous. They're just they've been groomed since they were children.
That's the way they were groomed, right? Yes. Damn.
It's shocking. It's really bad.
I just wanted to answer that question. I saw this pop up. Yes, I did see lodges for sure. Not that I'm not gonna comment on that very much, but I did see the question, so I wanted to answer it really quickly.
There is some link there. Apparently, I'm not sure what that is, but it is apparently, allegedly, Mickey was a part of the Masons over there, the Freemasons. I haven't put that 2 and 2 together yet on how that actually impacts the case or anything, but it is on my radar.
All right. So real quick, tell us again. You kind of it was hard for me to read. You sent me a really long text message in the middle of a live stream.
Yeah, sorry.
Who's talking tomorrow? Who wants to go live? What's going on?
All right. Well, Ty's going to tell the story about her very first abuse episode, when she was 12. It did go to court. The guy did do time, but he's out now, and she's now getting threats from his wife. So the sister actually pressed charges on her behalf. I've sent you the details so you can see if you can get any more info. But, and also the fourth person, Brianna, she's going to speak.
Okay. And I've got to tell you, I've heard stories. I know they keep saying that I can tell their story, but I just feel uncomfortable still. I've heard stories, of one of the victims whose boyfriend, if you want to call it, who was overaged and too old to be with her, was the drug dealer for Kevin Mullins and actually provided him drugs and then helped hook up that situation so he could pimp out his girlfriend. Like the fucking stuff you're hearing is unbelievable level of craziness.
Girls was pimping out Jennifer, what's her name? The one that was killed.
Oh, Jennifer Hill.
Yes, yep. He was pimping her out when she was on house arrest.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
And how do you get the FBI or whatever to be interested enough in the case? Like, how do you get them? Like, I don't know if they did this, but did they blow me off because I said I'm a YouTuber? Oh yeah, fuck that guy, he's a YouTuber. Like, you need to start taking this shit serious because people are dying in this county. Yeah. So I'm hoping somebody is taking it serious.
And not Jennifer Hill case. She was taking groceries in a house and dropped dead, folks. You don't think that's weird? Come on.
Yeah, you just tell them you're an investigative journalist, and
I did start out with I'm an investigative journalist. Yeah.
Just don't put YouTube in it.
I know, because they probably check out as soon as you say YouTube because they're not taking that shit serious. But my only hope is maybe somebody in the FBI is watching the live stream and they're like, maybe this guy's got something here. This guy's crazy.
Well, we have boots on the ground in the courthouse for Sabrina's hearing for her trial. So that's going to come live when they can update us between breaks in the court. But there is people in that courthouse that are going to be reporting on it for us, and I think this is going to be the linchpin that sets it all off. Sabrina's story.
We definitely have part of it, folks.
What about reaching out to Enton again? Even though I know he's not our favorite, he already interviewed, right? But
fucking Enton, Court TV was out there. Vinny Paulitano,
I mean, it's worth a try.
Vinny Paulitano was out there from Court TV for 3 days.
Court TV spent 3 days out there interviewing them and a whole heap in the community, and they've not put anything out yet about that. So,
yeah. And can I just say one more thing? Is that a lot of times the mainstream, they're only looking out for their own interests.
Absolutely.
Right.
But if you reach out to a well-known and independent investigative journalist, like, I'm not saying you can get Glenn Greenwald on it or you could get one of these guys, but if you can find an investigative journalist that, like, for example, Glenn Greenwald was the one who broke the Edward Snowden case, right? So someone that's independent, that has some clout, because they're not going to have the same motivations that a big media company would.
That's why I reached out to Lee, because of his story on Jennifer.
Yeah, because I'm convinced Jennifer was murdered. Her fiance is convinced Jennifer was murdered. It doesn't take a genius. It does not take it doesn't take a genius to realize she was murdered. She literally was gonna drop a bombshell in that case and just suddenly died. And they're like, oh well, she overdosed. My fucking everybody knows what a hot shot is. That woman was given a hot shot, I'll guarantee you, and killed.
Like I said,
and their attitude is she's just a junkie.
Dead. Come on, that doesn't fit at all.
Yeah, and Tyre has had an attempt made on her as well a few months ago, and she nearly didn't make it either. So,
Ange K says, "Call Nancy Grace." She'll shout. She said she'll shout it out loud.
I mean, listen, you guys know. Oh God, you guys know. But, I mean, if anything else, you'd hear it from the hills. But
Look,
And
I
part of
mean,
me-
look, I can't even watch her for 30 seconds.
No, no.
But if you get someone like her on it, if
Never
the
else.
goal is to bring real attention to it,
Yeah, exactly.
someone like her, maybe if you're strategic about it, you kind of got to do the counterintuitive thing.
What about Howard?
Howard Bloom?
Yeah, Howard Bloom.
He'll write a damn book about it and then change his mind 6 months down the road.
Right. This is
That'll
yeah.
happen.
Somebody brought up
really
Andrea
happened.
Burkhart.
Yeah.
I could kind of see her maybe possibly.
She's not. Yeah, yep. I've
No,
seen
you
it
know who we
before.
need to get on top of this is Candace. That
You're right.
Tyra's a
that
big
right
follower.
there.
And
She'd blow this
Massive.
out of the damn water.
she's a massive.
Oh, you don't
follower.
want to get Candace on your ass, man. That's all I gotta say. If you piss her off, man,
Yeah.
she'll calmly,
meant-
she'll do it very calmly too. That's the scary thing.
I think
Right.
she makes enough noise.
Big follower of hers. Yeah.
Right. JJ, you missed we missed you yesterday for our last Kurt Cobain show, but we kind of ended it with, we're hoping that Candace takes up Courtney's.
I heard. I caught the last hour of the
okay.
stream while I was breaking down my gear and stuff. I was listening to the stream.
All right, look, before we switch gears to talk a little bit about, yes, time is of the essence in Letcher County, and we're working it. I've got, I'm going to try tonight, among all the million things I got going on, I'm going to try tonight to get some public records requests out tomorrow morning for a suspicious death in that county and see what I can shake loose. Of course, they tend to do things like, sorry, we had a flood in the records room, so we don't have those records anymore.
The records room,
shit like
stories
that.
up.
Yeah, right. But before we switch gears to talk a little Delphi for tonight, do you want to tell us, Jody, what time and channel to watch what's going on tomorrow?
Yep, sure. So it'll be simulcast on both mine and Ty's YouTube channels. So I'm the Defense Fest, and she is Appalachian Dreamers. And it'll be 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I haven't even set up the stream yet, so the thumbnail's not up, nothing. I just jumped off the phone, texted you, and got on here.
So if you guys haven't done so already, please right now like and subscribe and follow notifications, all that stuff like that for Jody's The Defense Rests channel, so that when she goes live, you'll get notified of that live show and watch that story. We have also had interviews. Jody and I and Taya and Brandy have had a discussion. You could get up to speed if you want tonight on that interview as a preface. The problem is, the hardest part with these girls is they have decades of stories to tell. They've been abused for so long. Getting them to narrow it down so that people can get the whole to understand it. Sometimes they kind of scattershot everything at you, and you get overwhelmed with names. So that's the hardest part.
You might have to redo that, Robin, because I don't think I have the ability for it to stick. I just dropped Appalachian Dreamers link in the chat, so on your side.
Thank you.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I don't know if
and
I
dropped
Amanda put it.
Okay.
Thanks, Amanda.
And I will get everybody over to subscribe on my side of things to that one too. I think everybody already subscribed to Jody's channel.
You're welcome to join us.
I put Jody's channel link in the chat.
Thank you.
Okay. What time is this going to be tomorrow, Jody?
It'll be 9 a.m. Eastern Standard.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. I will try to be there as well so that I can watch that. So
yes.
If you want me to send you the link once I've got the stream up, I'm happy to do that too. If you want
yes,
to.
please do. Yeah, please do.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Beautiful.
All right, Jody. Tell the girls to be safe.
I will.
Again, I appreciate. I got an opportunity to talk to Sabrina Atkins. I wasn't even sure if I'm supposed to, because she's in the middle of litigation right now. But I'm like, well, she reached out to talk to me, so I'll talk to her. But I hope that we can get somebody. What I hope is that we get enough talking about it that somebody with clout can step in quickly and go, oh, that shit's got to stop right now.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm hoping. Like we're nobody, but if we talk squeak loud enough, maybe somebody will go, what the fuck's going on in Letcher County that I missed?
Right.
Massive thing for them to be able to trust someone, for her to reach out to you. That is amazing. So Yeah.
Yeah,
it's good.
and it was because of you, Jody. You put me in touch with people, and those people trusted me, and those people talked to people. So you've been amazing. Thank you so much for what you've done, because it's because you trusted me that they trusted me, and it's been snowball from there. So
yeah, it's a worthy cause.
All right, we will talk to you again soon. See you tomorrow on your live show. We're going to finish up a little bit on Delphi.
Bye, guys.
Thanks. All right, take it easy.
Thank you, Jody.
Thanks, Jody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Jody.
All right, let's see.
She's a rock star.
Yeah, for sure. And let me tell you, she's got some organization to her shit. She's given me more stuff than I can process. Like, I need to get my whole team on what she's given us, because she's got I've got document overload, right? And I got people asking me, well, how come you haven't read all the documents in Idaho 4? And I'm like, I got 5 cases, and people are dying actively in this case right now. So I'm
this is like top priority. Yeah.
Right. So it's unfortunate in that regards, because I know everybody wants to talk Idaho 4, but this case is literally getting people killed. And it's a big deal. So let's talk a little about Delphi and our trip to Delphi, Indiana. I got some footage I want to show. I want to talk to you about what we did and what we saw, and get your input and feedback on it. So let me see if I can pull this up. All right. Now, this may be hard to see. I'm not sure if you can see this super well. There's a yellow circle. That's basically the body location of Abby and Libby, the young girls that were last seen on the Monon High Bridge. And there's some red X's on this map that I'm going to point out. So the Monon High Bridge is this, there's a red X right where that river is, and that's where the Monon High Bridge is. And I was there filming on that red X. I was also, there's a red X that's on the far west of this picture, or far left side. That's down right at the Deer Creek ground level. I got some great footage there as well, kind of what the whole area looks like in woods and stuff like that. The red X that's above, or directly above the yellow circle where the bodies are found, that's a cemetery. We pulled, apparently when I was talking to, people that know more about the case than I did, said a lot of the cops and stuff that showed up at that cemetery and walked down to the body dumping location, which the other red X up in the corner that's a little kind of hard to see is Ron Logan's property and house, I believe. And basically the cops and a lot of people staged at the cemetery and walked down to the dump site down there. So I'm going to show you a little bit of footage if we can. Some of it might be not super interesting, but we'll see. We'll see how it plays.
Where's the bridge on this, DA? Where was the bridge on that?
So it's kind of hard to see, but there's an X kind of in the middle of the map that's right there on the river. That's the bridge crossing the river.
I gotcha.
Yeah. Now I'll tell you, it's really, I wish I could show you. I think I can show you. Let me show you this first. Here's some footage. Okay. This is a car drive. This bridge right in front of you is the Freedom Bridge. So there's a highway that runs underneath the Freedom Bridge. And if you take a right and another right, I'm going to show you on this video, you're going to pass under the Monon High Bridge Trail, which goes across that bridge right there, which is the Freedom Bridge. So let's follow this car. I'm going to show you some footage, kind of get you a layout of this area real quick. So this is us pulling in to the trailhead where Richard Allen allegedly was seen, or the bridge guy was seen, whether or not that was Richard Allen or not. We're going to show you some locations that you've heard about a lot, right? So again, we took a right, and we're going to take another right, and we're going to pass under the Monon High Bridge Trail overpass here. So that red up above is kind of like it's a walking footpath. That walks across the bridge, the Freedom Bridge. Again, the girls, eyewitnesses saw somebody there that morning, right here, this location that we're going to pull into. Now, actually, this video we're not going to pull into it. Right about there, right about here where this sign is. This particular video, we're going to go to the cemetery, so we're going to pass that. But there's a hard right, and you go up to that High Bridge Trail and walk. That's where you park. There's a parking lot, and we walked across and got footage. So I'm going to show you the footage of what it looks like up there real quick. So this is actually from the Monon High Bridge. This is me with my drone. I'll show you some more footage and kind of tie all this together. But I was practicing with my drone, and as you saw, there's a metal walkway now. A lot of the bridge has been replaced with a metal walkway, and there's a little memorial there to the girls. There were some flowers out there, and a gate where you can't get out onto the old railroad that's all kind of dilapidated and very dangerous to walk on. So now they really want to discourage people from walking on it. But these girls, Abby and Libby, have walked across this bridge heading in that direction off screen where we're going. I'm taking this drone and flying down the side of this bridge for you to show you there. I thought it was much higher. It's not as high as I thought from looking at some of the pictures I've seen in documentaries. It's not terribly high, but this is my drone going underneath the bridge. And my piloting skills there was a lot of tree branches you've seen. In fact, I did hit a tree branch at one point and dropped my drone. I was lucky, but if I had dropped it here, I would be fucked because there's no way to get to the thing without going out on that bridge, which they don't want you out on. So I was really navigating between a lot of sticks and twigs. And if I hit one of those twigs, I was done. Here's myself. There I am piloting. There's Ange K from our channel with us and my wife, Rhonda. Flying over the bridge this way. So that looks back, the walking trail that we came down, we came from that direction to come to the bridge. And there's a little memorial there at that side and also over here. I'm going to fly into this bridge here and get a look at more parts of this bridge just to show you some stuff. And then I'll get you some more footage down low. I want to show you some of the twigs and sticks. One of the locals said, when you're walking the trail to this bridge, take a look at the twigs and the branches. It is creepy how things are rearranged. I was like, how does the wind do that? People are saying, look, they're runes. People have taken trees and they've made runes and piled sticks. And that's what it looks like. It doesn't look natural. There's areas where it looks like people have rearranged stuff that I'm like, that's not wind thing. Like somebody arranged those trees to create runes on the path. And let me tell you, I hope I can find it while this is playing. Before you come out on this path, there is a creepy as fuck sign. I kid you not. And I hope I have a picture that I can show it to you. There's my wife. Hey, honey. Anyways, so there's a creepy as fuck sign just before you walk out to the Freedom Bridge that says something to this effect. Do not go on this path alone. Do not come on this path after dark. There are markers every 10th of the mile. Call 911 with the last mile marker you saw if you encounter any problems. It's not about animals they're warning you about. It seems like they're warning you about fucking people. They're like, don't come out here at night. Make sure you call 911 and you know what mile marker, a tenth of a mile. Every 10th of the mile, they've got marked out and tell you, call 911 with where you were last when you saw something.
And you just pointed out, I think, the reason why, Lee. If you're saying that you're seeing these trees and sticks and everything laid out down around this path, there's your reason right there, you guys. There's shit that goes on out here that nobody talks about. They're just warning you, don't do it by yourself. Yeah, it was super. And here's some more footage of me flying the drone. I'm still right next to the Monon High Bridge. I'm going to fly it a little bit. Kind of get myself oriented. By the way, it was windy, so I had to also kind of navigate my drone and fight against the wind, which tears up the battery because it's always fighting against the wind to try to stay stabilized. Yeah, it does. Amanda said it has Blair Witch vibes. It definitely has Blair Witch vibes. Yeah. And I don't know how you stood up there like that because I'm getting sick just looking at the picture of you being that high. No way. I'm sorry about that. No, it's not your fault. It's just I don't do heights very well, and that's high. Yeah. It's not as high as I thought it was going to be, though. And by the way, right about here, right off to the right, there's so you see the river bends there. There's an area there with some trees and not some trees, like benches and tables and stuff like that. And I was trying to get my orientation of where the girls were taken. So from what I understand is they crossed the bridge. The whole down the hill girls was off to the right. Mm-hmm. However, where they end up is kind of straight ahead of us on the left side of the bank. So they crossed over. So they came across the bridge on the right side of this river and then crossed over somewhere in a shallow area to the left side bank over there on Ron Logan's property. And again, I can show you the footage where we drive to the cemetery that's right there, kind of parks right where where you can walk down to where the bodies were dumped. So they were dumped somewhere right about over there in that general area in that direction. This is great footage, by the way, Lee. Seriously.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah,
It's awesome.
this drone's got some really high end capabilities, and I'm just
And
learning how to navigate it. But
the video is so clear too. It looks great.
Rhonda thinks I'm turned around, but I think I've got it right. So again, the girls walked to the right, but then they circled back and went that way. I'm certain of that because I've done a lot of looking. And in fact, again, we were confused for a long time about it. But when you drive to the cemetery, I know where the cemetery is in relation to this, and so I'm pretty positive I've got that. I'll show you the map again in a minute when we cover some footage. Sorry for the shaky footage on this. It's probably making everybody dizzy. All right, let's pull up some a little bit more footage here. So this is this is at water level. And we're going to fly towards the Monon High Bridge. And if you really are careful, you're going to see the bridge off in the distance ahead of us. So I'm flying towards the bridge. And again, the girls would have been on the other side of the bridge from here. Yes, they turned right, Rhonda, but then they crossed under the bridge again. So that's the confusion. They did turn right, but they didn't end up over in the right. So on this video, I don't know if you can see the video footage. We're at water level. We're right at water level. The bridge is right ahead of us out there in the distance. It's up a little high in the trees. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I might get a little closer with this footage. Hold on. Or maybe not. Maybe I fly back to my location. Damn it. Anyways, the bridge was up ahead there. But as you can see, this is the general look of the wooded area, and there's sticks and trees and shit, and it's easy to walk down. I mean, I walked right down to the water ground. You could walk on the ice and stuff like that because it's kind of frozen over. I don't know if it was frozen at the time that the girls were there, but I'm going to fly that direction a little bit. At first, I was trying to figure out where they were dumped, and I thought it was over in this general area. And the reason why I thought it, by the way, is there's a trail that walks down to where I'm at right now, and it's got a memorial to the girls right there at the trail. So so I thought that's where the girls might have been found, but it's not. This is why I spent a lot of time filming here, but it was good on the ground at the ground level. All right, let's take a peek at a little bit more footage. This is me flying more of the lake bed or the creek. This is Deer Creek level. All of this wooded area is the general idea of what it looks like where the bodies were dumped. It was just in this kind of brush kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Rhonda keeps insisting it is in this direction, but the problem with that is, I'll show you in a minute. Because I thought it was in this general direction as well. Do other people say it's in this direction? Because I thought this is where I thought it originally was, but I'll tell you why I thought it wasn't. In fact, let me pull that up real quick. Let me tell you why I thought it wasn't. Again, so this is kind of hard to see on the screen, but the yellow circles where the bodies were found. The bridge is to the left of that. So if you follow the river to the first X, that's where that bridge is at, where we're shooting at. So again, if the girls went to the right, and I'm filming, right, all that footage I showed you is that far left X. That's way over there. It's a long ways away from the dump site. So right. I'm pretty sure the girls went to the right, but then they went underneath the bridge and back over across the lake over on Ron Logan's property. So anyways, what else can I show you? A little bit more footage of the bridge, and then I'll show you the cemetery drive. Am I making you nauseous yet with us flying close to it and away from it and close to it? See, there's a red picnic bench out there, and the distance is kind of tipped over. I don't know if you can see it very well, but it's through those trees. I wasn't about to fly underneath the bridge because if I hit one of those metal rafters, I would lose my drone for good.
All the tree branches make it a little hard.
Yeah, I mean, any one of those little tree branches, if I hit, I lose my drone.
Yeah.
Because I can't go over the edge there to go get it. So anyways, this is the metal. I don't think this bridge was metal when the girls came. I think this was all wooden. I think it was all wooden at the time that they came out.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all wooden.
But now it's been kind of reinforced with this metal. And yeah, I'm going to make you nauseous flying through there. Anyways, what else do I need to show you? I don't want to make you sick flying through that. Oh, by the way, that little...
No. Don't worry about me. Just do what you're doing.
Right there. This little gazebo looking thing has like 4 cameras on it. You can see it on top of it. That pole's got cameras looking everywhere. So they've got eyes. Somebody has eyes all over this area to see who comes and goes from the bridge. So we were well aware we were being filmed at all times. All right, let's go to the cemetery drive, and I'm going to show you a little bit about that. So when we come around a corner, I'll be able to show you a bit better where we are in relation to what we just saw. Let's wait till we drive around the corner. So the trail and the bridge is off to our right, far to our right.
We must be able to get to those houses somehow.
There's the Delphi water tower. All right, so we're going to turn to the right. So what we're doing right now is we're heading to the cemetery where a lot of the where they went to find the bodies.
Here cops.
All right, so coming up.
It's when everybody wants you to help grow your channel.
Yeah.
You got a little car noise from my wife and I. So, okay, now we're getting close to the cemetery. And so when we were walking along the trail to the Monon High Bridge, we could see these houses from our trail. So we're kind of close now to the trail off to the right-hand side. We could see that red barn, for example, from the trail where we were walking. We could see this house coming up with the white railing. We could see that from the trail walking to the Monon High Bridge. So right now we're skirting the trails to our right.
Railing. Pretty cool.
So all that tree line over there is the trail. That tree line that you see on the far right side is the trail walks through all that tree line to the bridge. And we're about to pull into the cemetery. And then ahead of us, I believe, is Ron Logan's property off to the right, a little bit on the right side of the road, up right ahead. This is the cemetery.
Are the girls buried here?
Probably.
Now, apparently, there, back in 2017 when this happened, there wasn't a fence line. Now they got a fence line blocked off, so you can't walk down to the crime scene from here like you could have back in the 2017. But
a lot of vets.
So from what I understand, and I didn't watch a lot of these videos, a lot of people staged at this general area with the cemetery and walked down and found the bodies there, right? So Dago's nodding, yeah, right?
Yes,
so.
Absolutely.
There's a big fence.
There was a lot of people that showed up in this
I don't
area.
think we can get any closer.
A lot.
Yeah. So right to the right of us is the fence line that they put up. So there it wasn't there. I don't think that was there at the time.
No, that's new.
Yeah. So anyways,
did you go to that parking lot where they had the camera footage of Richard Allen's car allegedly?
I believe we were there, but and I can't remember if I've got it. So this is just some of my body cam footage. I got more footage as well. So, but that all I had for tonight to show. But I think I got some of that as well. So, anyways, that's a general thing. On this video, I don't have us driving past Ron Logan's property, but anyways, I just wanted to share some of the footage so you guys can give your thoughts or feelings or see what it's like a little bit. What do you guys think?
Great footage. Great job.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah,
Awesome
it's good
footage.
stuff.
It really underscores how, unless there were people walking by, that's the only way that somebody, it's close to stuff in a way, but it's also remote enough that someone obviously was able to get away with doing that to those poor girls. And
Absolutely.
Just seeing that footage is very surreal, and I can only imagine it was even more so in person, of course.
Yeah, I mean, Delphi, the town, didn't feel off to me, but that walking that path felt creepy. It just had a weird feeling, you know, the whole thing. So for what it's worth, that's what I was doing for this last week while I was missing some shows, is I wanted to do. It's funny because when you do that, you're like, did I just make that whole trip out there for nothing? I mean, I didn't even meet a local when I was in Delphi, but there's something to be said for walking the ground and getting a feel for what it looks like and what the sounds were and how far away houses are and who would have heard something and who wouldn't. Like, just there's no replacement for having been there and standing at the ground and going, oh, okay, I get it a little bit. So I think, yeah.
I think it was well worth it.
I think it plays to the fact that when you cover a case like this, okay, going to the scene of the situation itself kind of gives you more of a, in my opinion, more of a lead into the case itself. It gives you a feeling of the case, a more personal attachment to it in that aspect, for lack of better terms. So
yeah.
I agree with that. Totally.
Yeah, and we did get some footage of the courthouse where the trial was, and across the street where the tattoo shop that's now that, you know, the Odin's Den was closed down. I guess it closed down a few years ago, but we walked around. I got video footage of that as well. But you know, my only disadvantage is I wished I would have been able to talk to some locals per se, you know, although we did meet, you know, we did meet somebody that watches the channel. So that was awesome. So that was super cool. And she treated us to lunch, and we got to try an Indiana, a cuisine of tenderloin, pounded tenderloin, a giant pork tenderloin, breaded and with Cajun sauce on it and shit, and a bun, and it was really good, really good.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah. Anyways, so for what it's worth, we're still covering. We're going to cover that Richard Allen's appeal. I hope to get more information and cover that some more. And look at what Ange K said. You can see through the trees, so someone would have seen the girls, but they were at Ron's house until late in the night. Yeah, I mean, there are people who think that the girls didn't actually, they were killed at Ron Logan's property maybe, and then staged down on the river later.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. They were somewhere, that's for sure. They weren't down there the entire time.
That right, and it makes sense.
Right. If there was screaming, I mean, there's houses all along that walkway. That's not to say that people might not have heard it, but it does make you wonder if they were later dumped at that site.
There was also a call that night that came through about people being in the cemetery. Don't forget, folks, there's not just one person involved in this. There's multiple people that were involved in this. Okay. It's a thing, period. And the one person that wasn't involved in this is the person that's sitting in prison for this right now. So that I truly, deeply, deep in my soul believe, even more than I believe in the Brian Koberger situation. Okay. So that's why this is so important with this case. And this appeal needs to happen. And this man needs justice as much as these two girls need justice and their families, because they're not getting it right now.
And I got to tell you, I can't recommend enough people read or listen to the book Framed by John Grisham and see how many times law enforcement, unfortunately, decide who they want for a crime, and they just flat out stop looking at evidence of anything else other than the person they've decided is going to go down. And this is the part that, thank you for showing that book, by the way, Dago.
Oh, this is the part that I'm going to show it.
This is the part that sickens me. How many times in that book they knew for a fact the person they were prosecuting didn't do it, and they were willing to ruin someone's life, put them away for life in prison without the possibility of parole, or even kill them by executing them when they know for a fact they didn't do it, and they gave zero fucks because they care about closure rates and conviction rates over
Yep.
people's lives. And I
And
feel to myself, these people have to be fucking sociopaths to do that to human beings without any conscience whatsoever.
You don't sacrifice somebody to give an answer to somebody else's life. You don't sacrifice another life to give an answer to the loss of other lives, folks, for lack of, I'm sorry, I can't say it right, but it happens all the time. It happened with Richard Allen. It's happening with Brian Koberger. There's multiple cases in this book. He's not bullshitting you, folks. Every story in that book is about that situation, period.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's insane.
And the part that's just striking me is it's not just a matter of incompetency. It's not like they got the wrong guy. It's that they know they've got the wrong person and they give zero fucks.
Right.
They go through with putting somebody in jail for something they didn't do because they just want to get a conviction and they know it's not the right person. That's what makes me sick. It's not just incompetency. It's flat out evil for a better word of saying it.
And that's what frustrates me so much. Because again, and I mean this with all due respect, so much with the families in the Idaho 4 case, because they of all people should want absolution and truth to this. And it's almost like they're just accepting that we have a conviction. That's all that matters. Move on. And that's not enough. Not enough.
What a depressing, it's amazing how often it happens. And again, leading us to Idaho 4 for a little bit. Idaho 4, I'm convinced. Look, I started to reread the family's lawsuit against WSU, and they bring up a lot of things that, if they can prove are true, look bad for the Koberger thing. But I can't escape. I still cannot escape. One, Koberger could not have done it alone in the time frame that they said he did. And I really think, I'm convinced something else happened. And this is another one of those cases. They gave zero fucks about getting it right. They needed to get it a certain way. And that's the way it was going to be presented. We're going with this story. It doesn't matter whether or not it's true. This is the story we're going with. And it makes me sick to watch that happen again and again and again.
I think it's a strong possibility. I mean, we've covered so many different angles on that. Strong possibility that one or two of the possible perpetrators are not alive anymore, and that could be a big reason why they don't care to even push to that.
And that,
but we're getting there. That you see a little by little with the mainstream that they're pushing that.
Maybe he didn't do it alone.
That not that he's innocent, but that he didn't do it alone. Well, then there has to be someone else involved. So what's the deal?
Right.
That's tomorrow. My show tomorrow. I'm being joined by the Custody Queens and Ron Funk. Again, and that's the topic right there. Exactly what you just said. That whole everything and it wrapped up in a bun, because I'm telling you, something's coming, folks. Something big is this is gonna blow up. I feel it in my soul.
And I feel like we all agree on that. If Koberger was involved but didn't do it alone, people need to go to jail or be punished for the lies and the cover-up to allow people who were guilty to walk away with it because they wanted the simple answer. That's my conviction. It's not good enough that you got one of them. You lying to people about the other people that were involved, if it was, and I'm not even saying I believe the Koberger is 100% the guy, but if he was involved in one shape or form and they let other people walk, someone needs to pay for that if possible, because that's bullshit that other people got to walk.
Not to mention the prosecution themselves, the things that they've covered up to make that happen, the things that they did to allow for these things to happen this way. That, I'm sorry, but no, that needs to be exposed. Those people need to be sitting in jail, in my opinion, too. I'm just saying.
The whole lack of consequence in all of these cases. I mean, we're covering 5 different cases, peripherally, kind of the Guthrie case. I mean, all these cases, the lack of accountability and consequence to deter this kind of bad behavior and downright illegal activity in some cases,
and
of all these people who are supposed to be upholding the law and executing these prosecutions and stuff in the proper way. And it's not
And-
happening. And that's why it keeps happening. It's
Yeah.
because
And-
of
and-
lack of accountability.
Yeah, and another thing along that lines, in the documents I was reading again from the families of the victims of Idaho 4 and their lawsuit against WSU, they were pointing out, and it's just a little small thing I want to cover. They were pointing out WSU looked the other way on systemic problems within law enforcement, where law enforcement officers were grooming and having sex with college students, and they would look the other way on it and ignore it. And then when it finally came out, 3 people, including the police chief and an assistant chief and somebody else, just resigned, careers intact, resigned rather than face prosecution. And that's what happens all the time. And look at how many people resigned over Idaho 4's case, Brian Koberger.
Right.
People got the fuck out of town before the shit hits the storm, because they're going to avoid prosecution. Hey, I already retired, so don't worry about it. I'm not here anymore. This is what they do. The rats leave the ship when they realize it's about to go down. So everybody retires or quickly gets out of Dodge.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, the public doesn't seem to hold them accountable and go, oh, I guess he retired, so what's the big deal? He's not there anymore. The reason they retired is because they knew they would be arrested or they would lose their pension. They would and they just get out with their careers intact by resigning and taking the caravan.
Right.
I'd be curious, Lee, to look into, if anybody at all, how many people either resigned, retired, or moved in the Delphi case after that shit all went down. I'd be dead serious to see if that happened there too, because
I bet
it happens everywhere.
It happens everywhere.
And promotions. You got to look at promotions too.
Yeah.
That's a key thing.
Reward.
A lot of the people that bailed after, this case, it could simply be that they knew information that the powers that be didn't want them to be easily accessible to journalists and reporters and things like that. So get them out of here. That way they're not as accessible. They're not directly connected to law enforcement anymore, because it seems pretty obvious, no matter what the actual truth is, that there is a cover up. There's a cover up.
Look, the gag order is ridiculous. I mean, you don't have a gag order like that. I mean, to this extent. I mean,
no.
I mean, I know the families, they're trying to, the $400 million that they're trying to sue for, but I, how crazy, and rightfully so. I couldn't imagine just giving up. I know people say, oh, well, when a lot of money. I mean, there's no amount of money that would make me stop looking at every stone unturned. I can't see Steve G, how crazy he was. If there's evidence or something that's given to him that he sees, I mean, he was the one that he was big from the start, that there's no, that this wasn't one person and whatever. I can't see him just being no, BK did it alone. I mean, maybe his wife, maybe some other family members are just oh, let it be. But Steve G's kind of the one person I'm kind of waiting, maybe not now. I know they still have the lawsuit going on, but I can see him kind of breaking away at some point and being just fuck it. And
Yeah. Well said.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah,
Well, if he knew that, let's just hypothesize and say that Kaylee was an informant,
right?
Then it's pretty logical to assume that Steve knew about it, right? So he may have a lot of guilt. I'm just speculating that he knew that she was in a dangerous situation and he allowed it to happen. And so, in my opinion, his behavior, sometimes when people feel guilty, they do the opposite of what you would think. They behave the opposite of how you might think they would behave.
Yeah.
They would be brash and they would act like they've got everything under control and they're really trying to get to the bottom of this.
Right.
But
That's a very good point. It almost makes you wonder if that's what Steve meant when he said there's going to be some gross things that are going to come out, some people being drugged through the mud, so on and so forth. Is he referring to that situation that, she was informing on some stuff that was a nasty situation, so on and so forth? You knew about it. Makes you wonder that. You know what I mean? So that's a good point, JJ.
And they like you just to go from Delphi to Letcher County to Idaho 4. Well, without the university, that's a small little town, right?
Yeah,
and,
right.
And so it's not like it's some metropolitan area because there's a university there. I was there. I was like, it's a small town, but it happens to have a university there. I mean, funky shit goes down in small towns. You have, old boy politics, the old boys club and all that stuff that people are covering each other's asses. And if the feds are involved, there's obviously more to the story. To me, that's the biggest red flag, is that the involvement of the feds, because it just seems to me like if the FBI and some of the other agencies have a track record of fuckery.
Yeah.
Right? So why all of a
Definitely,
sudden there's no fuckery, yet everything seems like fuckery, but it's not really fuckery?
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very good point. Very good point.
Well, let's talk real quickly. We got about 10 minutes or so left. Did you want to give us any thoughts, Dago, on, or even anyone on the panel for that matter, on the Guthrie case? I know that there's been some thoughts you had on the Guthrie case. You want to share that with our audience in case our audience haven't heard you talk about it?
There's been some info that's come out that's made me start thinking deeply about certain things. We've all seen the photograph of the everybody that's following the case, and if you're not, there's a woman that went missing early morning hours of February 1st. Her name's Nancy Guthrie. For those of you that aren't familiar, Savannah Guthrie is the host on the Today Show. That's her mother. And Nancy's been missing for 16 days, guys, 16 full days with a bunch of nothing. Okay. There's been ransom, then there's not, then there is, then there's not. There's letters going out to people at TMZ. It's just insane, the whole thing. So there was a guy in that case, for those of you that are following it, and I know most of you guys probably know this already, but the guy with the mask on that went to the front door, that took off the camera, did whatever was going on, was finally brought to the table. They said they couldn't get any kind of footage from this camera. Ta-da, they did. And there's still more to come, they're saying. But anyway, I'm pretty positive that I think we figured out who this guy is. They have his name out. He was already stopped and looked into. His name is last name is Daly, first name's Lucas, and I've matched some things within there. My videographer Molly, she did a layover, and it's amazing. I'll show you guys here real quick if you want to see it. It's it's a quick video that just it's amazing what she did. And then I found a portion of a tattoo that's in both videos that I've had. This is the guy that's at the front door at the camera, folks, in my opinion. So come to find out that there was also, this guy was stopped back in May with his girlfriend in the vehicle. They were charged on some high-end drug charges, okay? And so we looked into the girlfriend. And her mother, her last name is Guthrie. Okay? So they're related. This guy's girlfriend's related to the Guthries, with, in a nutshell. Sorry. Excuse me. But so you start putting 2 and 2 together, and 4 and 4 together, and 8 and 8 together, and you get, some numbers that match up, is all I'm going to say, and some things that make you go, okay, that's quite interesting. So I think at this point we have at least that person and possibly somebody else that are involved in this. Okay. And it's real. It's very strange how this is all played out. I'll just put it that way, for lack of better terms. because there's been so many mishaps with this. It was botched from the beginning. In my opinion, the sheriff is a joke. And that was kind of solidified today if you watch the interviews. And that's why there's no answer to this at this point. The FBI was not allowed to step in and do what they should have done. If they'd have taken this case when we thought they did, it would have been solved at this point. So it's all about egos and stuff we've talked about already, folks. Egos and pride and all that kind of bullshit. And none of that should ever exist when you're looking for somebody's loved one or somebody that's missing, an 84-year-old woman that's missing. That's priority, not your ego and your pride. Sorry.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
So I'm going to show this photograph that Molly overlaid, and I blew my damn mind. I completely blew my mind. So
awesome.
Love and respect to Molly for doing this. If I can get it to come up now. Sorry.
The older you get, the harder it is to get it up. So you'll get there.
I've been told that, sir. Been told that. Truly been told that.
I can't resist. I'm like a toddler. I'm full of these jokes.
We all have that ability, except for Miss Robin. She doesn't do that, but that's okay.
There are things you could do to take care of that, man.
Right. That's right. All right. So we've all seen this photograph here. Okay. The guy that went to the camera, picked up the weeds, was playing around with it, which I come to the realization that all he was trying to do with those is to take them behind the camera itself and pull down, release that lever to pull the camera up, which you don't even have to do that.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's what that was all about. Okay. He's carrying a gun down in front. The backpack, the jacket, the mask, the gloves, all this stuff, guys. 16 gloves found, blah, blah, blah. There's a bunch of bullshit and fuckery in this case. As always, nothing cut and dry. So anyway, this is the guy on camera and on video that they saw walking up to the door. I'm going to push play on this. I'm going to let you watch this for a few minutes. The other person you see is Lucas Daly. And this is who I believe was standing on Nancy Guthrie's front porch, who I believe is involved in her abduction. That is Lucas Daly. That.
Wow.
Yeah, look at the eyes.
And it points out the points on his face.
Wow, look at that.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow. That's interesting shit.
That is wild.
It rolls a few minutes, so just watch it for a few minutes, and you'll see that. And she points out everything that lines up that's almost identical. Okay.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything layover that close, and that
the nose line, the nose,
everything.
The nose, the eyes,
the hooded eyes was a big thing. Okay.
Yeah.
And that in itself, to me, says it all. So that was the one main thing that pointed to me that was him.
Wow, look at that. Look
at that. No, that's like crazy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So then we've seen a photograph. We found photos of Daly with, not all dressed like this. And there's a tattoo. If you can see me, I don't know if you can, but there's a tattoo on his right forearm that goes down like mine does here. If you can see that. Okay.
Yeah.
And
you have a picture of that? You got a picture of it?
I do. I'll show you guys that next. It ends right about here. There's a clip that somebody got of this guy standing there with his hand up by the camera, and you can see the end of the same fucking tattoo right there sticking out of the sleeve, and it matches right up with the one on his arm. This guy is period. This is the guy at the front door. I'm done right there. So I'll show you that other photograph. One more couple passes this has, and then it's done. But I mean, this is him as far as I'm concerned. And his girlfriend, Kayla Day, is related to the Guthries. Her mother is a Guthrie. So Nancy is her great aunt. Oh yeah, great aunt. Sorry. It blew my mind. And Molly, this was amazing. I love Molly. She does amazing things. This was amazing. So.
Do you got a picture of like his whole body from anywhere?
Yeah,
or no?
I do. I'm going to show you the picture of his body with the tattoo on his arm as soon as I get back to it. And then I'll show you the other picture of the tattoo on the mask guy's arm, the piece of the tattoo that you can see. It's very minuscule. You have to really look at it, but I'll show you exactly where it's at. So this guy's girlfriend is Savannah's cousin, in essence, yes. And so,
and that would make sense that they would have the info about her medical issues, or some of them at least.
Yes,
right. There'd be a lot of knowledge that she would have had about Nancy.
Absolutely. Yep. So I have those two people, in my opinion. Those two people are absolutely 100% involved in this, but without a doubt. So, all right, give me 1 minute to pull this other set. I have stuff everywhere on this, so my apologies, you guys. I'm so sorry.
And right now they have their vehicles, right, in possession.
Yeah, and they just went. These are that guy I just showed you, the Lucas Daly. Him, his mother, and his brother were all three detained Friday night, I believe it was. Okay. And then they were released once again. There was DNA found inside Nancy's house that they're still waiting to get back, and I think it's going to come back to one of these two, whether it's Lucas or his girlfriend. Okay. And then today, yeah, it was today. They released and they detained and released them, let them go. Today, JLR is out doing his thing the whole time on this. He runs over there, and guess what's sitting in the driveway picking up their vehicles? A tow truck.
Yeah.
They towed both vehicles that were at the house, from my understanding. So if these people were detained and released, and Brian Hinton got a clip on, he did a little thing on this because he's just like JLR. He's all over the place. Brian said that he got a piece of information he posted on Twitter. And he was like, they told him, do not discount this situation. There's shit going on in the background. Give it time. So he headed back over there. All right, give me. I can't do two things at once, folks. So bear with me. I'm trying to get these other photographs up for you. And Molly found all the info we need on this Daly and his girlfriend, their criminal record, the background. It's bad. He was scheduled to go to court February 26th for that when they got pulled over, the drug charges they got. And it was delayed till May. So it's kind of crazy. Now, not to mention that the last video that Savannah put out on Instagram, it's been stated that she was directing that to a specific female person when she made that statement. So take that, do with it what you will. Goddamn
crazy.
I mean, the way this is all like lining up, you guys, for those of you that are following, you know what I'm talking about. It's just insane to me. I've been like stuck on this for 2 days now straight, and I'm trying to find these damn pictures. 1 minute. Is it up here? It's probably up here. Okay. Yeah, give me a second here.
That last message that Savannah put out, the line where she said, "You're not alone," or something to that effect. If it did turn out that it was this woman that is a family member, that would kind of make sense, like almost signaling that, listen, maybe you got in over your head with something, and even though you had allegedly have part in this, we'll still try to help you, or something to that effect. It felt like she was really speaking personally to someone,
there it
like
is.
someone she knew almost.
That's how I took it. Here it is for you to watch this real quick. I got to just pull it up. I'll hit play while I'm still looking for that. Well, I can't. I'll wait. But yeah. All right. Yeah. This was her third or fourth message, I think. And this they're saying was directed at a specific female person. So
I wanted to come on, and it's been 2 weeks since our mom was taken, and I just wanted to come on and say that we still have hope, and we still believe. And I wanted to say to whoever has her or knows where she is, that it's never too late. And you're not lost alone. And it is never too late to do the right thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what the hell happened. My apologies. 1 second.
And we know they have more video too. I mean, they only showed us a little bit.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry about that, you guys.
That's okay.
We believe.
Just a sad situation all the way around.
Yeah. Yeah, and you have to think after this much time with no proof of life,
No,
Right.
the odds aren't good.
No,
Exactly.
No,
not at all.
Jesus.
no.
All right. I'm working on this, you guys. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. I have things sent to me all over the place, so. And I'm very disorganized with it, so my apologies.
No worries.
All right, where's this one? Here. Oh. Here's this too. I can show you real quick. Jesus, I have so much stuff that I can show you guys. It's crazy. So this was today when they went and towed Lucas's car, and then they towed the other vehicle as well.
Boom. So they were in the process of towing. Was it just?
And then there's the guy in the back over there too.
Ah, see? I'd love to have that.
I can send it to you. I
Yeah,
have
here,
two of
just
them.
call. Boom. So they were in the process of towing. Was it just?
And then there's the guy in the back over there too.
There's a better video. This is a shitty one. There's a Charger right there that they're hooking up. They're getting ready to tow it.
Ah.
That's his vehicle there.
See?
There was also kind of
I
ironic
can
to
send
you
it to
guys.
you.
There was
Yeah, here.
also a white sport utility vehicle that belongs to their mother that was sitting in the driveway that I believe was towed as well. And it's kind of funny because the white vehicle that they were tailing, or the vehicle they were tailing, remember the first guy they took into custody, Carlos Palenzuela, I think his name is.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this has anything, but it's weird how this lines up. It was a white sport utility vehicle. They were trailing him, and he pulls over, interacts with them. They detained him,
right?
Served a warrant on his house, tore it up, so on and so forth. The vehicle sitting in this driveway that belongs to these guys' mother is a white sport utility vehicle. So it's just one other thing that kind of lines up with something else that maybe makes me wonder if this vehicle was seen on a camera. Hence the reason why they were looking for
that's
that specific person. They just had the wrong person because he did deliveries in this neighborhood too. So just saying, God damn it, where I don't know if I'm going to be able to find this right now, but it's in here. But the point is I've matched it. I will find it at some point, folks, and I'll show it to you. The point is the tattoo that is on his arm that comes to his wrist lines up directly with the hand in front of the camera. You can see it right there. And I don't know why I can't pull this up. I had it up earlier.
DA, your mic is hot and it's picking up everything you're doing.
All right.
That's what kind of convinced me at that point was that photograph. And that's when I said, that's it. That's got to be him.
DA, your mic is hot and it's picking up everything you're doing.
There's every echo coming back too. All right. Which one of you guys sent that to me? Damn it. Oh, and there was another statement made too that I'm guess that somebody saw them. That's another weird thing. The medical examiner's van. It's written on the side of the van. Showed up at that house that those people were detained in. February 14th at 6:51 in the morning. They posted this that it was there then that night before, along with federal agents, forensic teams, and local law enforcement. Why would the ME's van show up at a house that people were detained at and then they were let go? medical examiner doesn't go just to standard investigation scenes.
Yeah.
I'm just like, there's too many of these things that are weird to me. So
yeah. Well, that video with the overlay was amazingly like
yeah.
Well, like you
That's
said,
crazy.
the nose placement, the eyebrow placements are spot on.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, you guys. I can't, for whatever reason, I can't. Oh wait, is it in here? Hold up, I might have found it. Yeah, it is right on point, you guys, and it just blew my mind. And then when I saw the tattoo piece, I was done. That was it for me. And at that point, I have to say that Lucas Daly was standing in front of her camera that night or that morning. Is this it? No, almost there. Anyway, if you guys want to see it, okay. Aha. Is that the right one? Hold on. I knew I had these photographs here. Okay, this will work enough for it. It's very hard to see. You gotta like really blow it up, and I'll just tell you, you can go back and look at it yourselves.
Let's see there.
All right, so right there, you see my cursor?
Yep.
Right there. Maybe I can blow it up just a bit more for you. Okay, right here.
Yeah.
Okay. It's the end of this tattoo that goes to his wrist. Okay. Now I have a photograph of Lucas Daly sitting, and that's the other one I'm looking for right now. He's sitting at like I just sitting somewhere, and he's in a photograph, okay? And you can see his entire like body and his arm, and you see that entire tattoo, and it's identical. It goes to right here, and it's identical to what we just saw in that photograph. And that was it for me. I was done. That's him.
Then you have to think the FBI already knows all this, right?
I think they do, because they're just waiting on, I think at this point, Lee, I think they're waiting on this DNA to come back.
Yeah.
And they're being careful, in my opinion, because I don't know, but I think they would know, excuse me, if Nancy's alive or deceased at this point. Okay. Right. So I think they're being careful for those reasons in that aspect. Now, in my opinion, I think Nancy is probably based. If we listen to what the emails that have been being sent to Harvey Levin over at TMZ, this person is saying they know who it was. He got a fourth one this morning, and this person says this. They keep saying this is my last and final, blah blah blah. But this person said, I know they don't believe me. I don't trust the FBI. Blah blah blah. All this other stuff, and he says, I know what I saw 5 days ago south of the border. And the letter he got before this said that this was going to go international. Well, that's Mexico. And I know that I saw Nancy Guthrie, these people, multiple people, so on and so forth. And he wants money for this to give that information over, which kind of pisses me off. Like, do the right damn thing. And
right.
But whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if this is all true, then, that would mean that Nancy's possibly in Mexico, alive or dead. Unfortunately, I don't want that to be the latter, but
yeah,
there's a lot of craziness with this, but I think that at the very least, Lucas Daly and his girlfriend are involved in this very deeply.
By the way, this is a Guthrie related thing and an Idaho 4 related thing. I want to ask your opinion about something. I was talking to Birdie about this today, Birdie Bombshells. And I was talking about this. Isn't it ironic? And this is for me,
don't you think?
Isn't it ironic? Don't you think? I'm sorry, I couldn't. Yeah. So that at the crime scene at Idaho 4, they said the reason why we didn't test the blood on the downstairs banister or the glove outside is because it was too far removed from the crime scene. And yet in the Guthrie scene, a fucking glove 2 miles away from the crime scene is still related to the crime scene. How the hell does a glove in the parking lot of a quadruple homicide not relate to the crime scene, but a glove 2 miles away in the Guthrie case is related to the crime scene?
Exactly. I mean, it absolutely, Lee, absolutely. It's nuts. It doesn't make any damn sense.
Yeah.
None of this makes any damn
sense.
My hopes are that by some chance they find Nancy alive. I don't know that she'll be well, but alive. they can bring her home to the family and they prosecute to the fullest extent of the law who did this, and end of story. But at the very least, I hope they find her alive. So, and if they don't, then I hope that they can get these people prosecuted. And I read something somewhere where somebody put a statement out that I guess the president said that these people should get the death penalty, so on and so forth. So, yeah, I don't know. All I know is that this family is suffering to no end. It's unbelievable to me. Unbelievable.
Yeah, unbelievable. All right. Well, it's that time of night. I think we should close. A lot of great topics. Letcher County, by the way, please get your eyes on this case. Talk about it.
Priority.
Pressure somebody, call somebody in, Congress or senator or whatever. Time is running short because they're gonna railroad Sabrina into probably a quick and dirty plea to avoid going to trial so that the details don't come out. And that county is in big trouble if people don't keep the pressure up. If it just goes away with a simple, shit happens. Mickey Steins was nuts, thinking people are trying to kill him, instead of getting to the bottom of why did he think people are out to kill him? Those are the questions we need to ask. Keep your eyes on that. Thanks for watching the Delphi boots on the ground stuff and sticking with us. I'm going to do around the horn. Let's go Dago, JJ, 1-1, Robin, and then I'll close for the night. So Dago, what do you got?
Thank you guys for being here tonight again. As always, an amazing show, amazing conversation. It's great to have Lee back in full form. I appreciate all the moderators from all sides. Thank you, all of you, and all of you beautiful people, as I like to say, for being here. Folks, don't forget to love yourselves, love each other. Don't change a thing, because you are, as I always say, the beautiful people. And I can't wait to see you again tomorrow. And don't forget, folks, to tune in 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be joined by the Custody Queens and Mr. Ron Funk as we go over the Idaho 4 WSU content and see what we can pull out of that. I'm looking forward to it. See you then.
All right. And then let's go, JJ.
All right. Thank you, advocates. Thank you to the denizens and the meatballs and all the mods. And interesting stuff tonight. Seeing some of the boots on the ground stuff is always cool. Kind of gives you more of a bird's eye view of the actual places that we talk about. And, I've been following the Guthrie case as well. And this is a pretty crazy one too. I hate that every case seems to be crazy.
Right.
Like there's never, like we always say, there's just never a cut and dry case anymore.
Cut and dry anymore. That's right.
And so, of course, the media is going to milk it for everything it's worth. Well, thanks again to everybody. DA, it's good to have you back. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right, let's go 1-1. What is going on for your club?
All right. Maybe someday we'll get a case that's cut and dry, but probably not.
I don't
probably not. Yeah, but thanks to the meatballs, denizens, JJ, Dago, Robin, Lee. Thanks to have you. Glad that you're back with us. The footage was amazing that you got.
Thank you.
All the wonderful mods, of course. Essie, Amanda, whoever else, all the mods. Excellent work, Molly. To me, that definitely seems to be you cracked the case there. That's really, really good job. Keep on fighting. We can't take your foot off the gas pedal. We have to double down, triple down. Because unfortunately, there are people in certain situations, especially where Lee did his travels here. There are people that are, I'd say, they're kind of trapped. So sometimes they need people to help them. So hopefully we can get some of these people help and get them out of the line of fire. It's pretty disgusting and sad to see all this corruption and whatnot. It just seems to be a systemic, in everything. But we will keep at it. We will keep trying. So thanks to everyone, and thanks to obviously we wouldn't be here without all of you guys who come every night showing your support and in the chat. So we love all you guys. And I will leave you. I'll leave you with my movie.
Oh yeah, we got trivia. Yeah.
Yeah, I got my movie quote. So you ready? Because Dago's like on fire. Although JJ got it the other night. All right, here we go. I did not achieve this position in life by having some snot-nosed punk leave my cheese out in the wind.
Oh shit.
Oh my God.
I don't.
To me?
No,
JJ's leaning in.
Wait, repeat it again.
I did not achieve this position in life by having some snot-nosed punk leave my cheese out in the wind.
God, I'm almost there, but I don't got it. You may have stumped us.
You did twice for me, twice in a row. Damn it.
What do you got? Tell us.
I'll give you a hint. I'll give you a hint. It's Matthew Broderick is.
Yeah.
Candy got it. Ferris Bueller.
Yeah.
Yep. That was Candy tonight.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Good job.
All right. Let's go to Robin. So they remove you and put Robin up on screen.
Thank you, one and all, for coming out tonight. Let's push really hard for Taya and Brandy and everyone in Letcher County. I did in the chat put Thomas Massey's office number. Whatever you're willing to do. I'm sorry, I have a cat that's trying to jump on me. Let's Paul, people in that area who have some clout, some authority, anyone you can think of. I'm willing. I'll call the FBI. I'll call TV stations. I don't care, whatever it is, if we can get the word out. But also, if you are a lawyer of a certain caliber, or a lawyer of a certain caliber who will be willing to step in and help, that would also be helpful. But we do need to secure, however we can, the safety of these poor victims in this area, because and just, we all need to stand up for one another, because that's what it's going to take to end this kind of corruption. And but thank you to everyone for being here on both channels, whether you are here live or on the replay. We appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope that you all have a wonderful evening.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for that. Our panel is amazing as always. We got a special thing going on. I still believe that very much. Even if the numbers don't show, I feel like we're a better channel than our numbers show. We got a really cool thing going on. So thank you all for being part of this. And we're doing boots on the ground, and we're covering big things, and we're hopefully going to get some attention on the right cases. I'm still hopeful, before I check out of this reality, or whatever you want to call it, that I'll make a difference in the world. So I'm still planning on trying to make a difference in this world, and put somebody behind bars that belongs behind bars, or free somebody who doesn't belong behind bars, or shit, how about the combo or the trifecta, and do both. All right. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you so much. And check us out next tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And don't forget to check out the Defense Rest show tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to get more eyes on that Letcher County situation. That's a mess. Take it easy, everybody. Have a good one.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Great.